So I welcome you, dear students, to the 8th lecture of Novel Drug Delivery System. And by now, I must be thinking that you are familiar with the pros and cons of the system, that is the Novel Drug Delivery System, and the terminology as well, the extended release, the controlled release, the sustained release. So, coming towards the basic part of this lecture, we shall be covering those aspects which we should be learning to develop basically a sustained release or the control release dosage form. So, let me just show you what our objective for today's class is. So, we shall be covering the approaches that are very much familiar to design a control release formulation. So you can see over here a broad perspective says that there are four major type of control release strategies. So first is based on diffusion control, means actually the idea is to control the diffusion rate of the drug. The second strategy encompasses the strategy to basically control the dissolution rate of the drug. And in the third, we work on a mixed approach, that is, we are simultaneously controlling the diffusion as well as the dissolution rate of the drug. So it is a mixed approach. And another strategy is there, which is ion exchange resin base. So it is a basically mixed approach as well. So in today's lecture, we shall be covering the approaches based on diffusion control system. Rest approaches we will be discussing in further coming lectures, but our today's objective will be based on diffusion control strategies. So first let us understand what is a diffusion control system. So as I already mentioned that diffusion is basically a process of movement of drug molecule from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So diffusion is the rate limiting step in this strategy, and we can generate temporal input profiles for drug delivery. So these are further subclassified as the matrix types and the reservoir type systems. So the idea is to basically control the diffusion rate of the drug, means the drug is either entrapped into the matrix or it can be as a reservoir. It can be in a reservoir as well. So we are basically controlling the movement of the drug, that is by the diffusion process itself. Okay. So let us first discuss what are reservoir type of system. So in this system, what we are trying to do, we are basically separating a drug compartment with the help of a polymer membrane, which is basically a diffusional barrier. So what we are trying to do, we are basically enclosing the drug in a polymeric membrane, and this membrane is working as a diffusional barrier. And basically what is it trying to do, if we are able to achieve this process, so we can easily get the drug flux of either zero order with infinite dose or first order with by dose depletion, means it will be a first order process. So let me just show you the strategy of adopting reservoir drug delivery system. So it is in this fashion only. What we are trying to do over here, you can see the drug is there in the reservoir and it is saturated, means the drug concentration is highest inside the reservoir, and basically the drug is diffusing out to the biological system where it is having lesser concentration, or we can say it is having zero concentration initially. So as the time will pass, more amount of drug will diffuse out from this polymeric membrane, and it will be a time based phenomena. You can see over here. So basically what we are controlling the diffusion of the drug, and the rate controlling membrane is basically made up of some polymers, suitable polymers we use. We shall be giving you the example of polymers in further slides. So rate controlling membrane has constant thickness. So the membrane has been designed in such a fashion that it has a constant thickness throughout, you can see, and it has also constant diffusivity, means from every side we will be experiencing the same amount of drug which is diffusing out, and solubility coefficient as well. So coming towards another type that I mentioned, that is the matrix type system, or we can simply say them as monolithic system. So it consists of a rate controlling ingredient such as a polymer. Again, the polymer is here, and the basic difference from the reservoir is that in this case we admix the drug with the polymer, and together with it we prepare the formulation. It is not a considered case in which the drug is there in the core and polymer is surrounding itself, but rather what we are trying to do, we are blending the polymer and the drug together, and we are uniformly mixing them and then further processing into either a capsule or into a tablet. So you can see over here, let me just show you the basic idea you will get from here. What we are trying to do, we have just homogeneously mixed the polymer and the drug, and you can see we have obtained a simple monolithic drug delivery system, and you can see with the passage of time the amount of drug will be diffusing out of this matrix in a time dependent fashion. So you can see the drug is dispersed uniformly in non degradable matrix, and only the drug is allowed to diffuse out. So this is the basic principle of matrix drug delivery system. So let us discuss one by one both of these systems. First we shall be covering the reservoir type. So in this system you can see I have just highlighted this point: water insoluble polymeric material encases a core of the drug. So let me just take you once again to this diagram, this particular reservoir type. So you can see this is the water insoluble polymeric membrane, and it is encompassing the drug over here. So the drug will partition into the membrane and exchange with the fluid surrounding the particle or the tablet. Additionally, the drug will enter the membrane, diffuse to the periphery, and exchange with the surrounding media. So this is the basic principle of reservoir type. So whenever we talk of the diffusion principle, we should be knowing the Fick's first law of diffusion. So you can see the flux J means the amount of drug which is releasing out, the rate of diffusion. We can simply write it amount Qt in time. So we can see over here, through a unit area of a barrier section is proportional to the concentration gradient within and normal to the section. So this is the equation which basically defines the Fick's first law of diffusion. So D is the proportionality constant, and it can be termed as diffusivity or diffusion coefficient, and the negative sign over here is representing basically that the drug is releasing out with the passage of time. In terms of amount of drug release, so we can just simplify the Fick's first law of diffusion. We can write the equation as dm by dt, that is the release rate, ADK delta C divided by L. So what is the A? A is the area of the overall reservoir, and D is the drug diffusion coefficient, and K is the partition coefficient of drug between the membrane and the drug core. So you must be understanding this concept very well, that the role of partition coefficient is very much crucial while designing the reservoir type of system. and L is the diffusional path length. So the total distance from the core to the outer side is basically the diffusional path length. So you can see it is the thickness of core in ideal case, and AC is the concentration difference across the membrane. So let me just show you the basic concept of reservoir type. So you can see the A type is basically the implantable systems or the oral reservoir systems. So you can see the drug is there in the as a reservoir, and the membrane is controlling its diffusion. So as the time will pass, you can see the core will be depleted and the drug will be diffused out into the biological system. So you can see the amount of drug is getting increased, that is diffused out from the system with the passage of time. Similarly, we can use the reservoir type approach in case of transdermal systems as well. But the basic difference from the oral is that in the case of oral, the drug is being released throughout the system, whereas in the case of transdermal, you can see no backward movement of or diffusion of the drug is there, only the forward movement is there, that is in contact with the what we can say the stratum corneum, because transdermal system are basically applied over the skin. So we only be considering the forward movement of the drug. So what are the takeaways from the discussion of reservoir type? So let me just show you the first takeaway or the note. You should be considering the partition coefficient of the drug very much judicially, because if the partition coefficient is on the higher side, then what will happen? The core of the drug will be depleted in a very short time, so that zero order release will be observed only over a shorter segment of time, whereas after that you will experience a fluctuation in the drug release pattern. So you should be choosing those candidate particularly which are moderate in partition coefficient. Another takeaway is that you should be remembering over here, we should be maintaining the area of the polymeric matrix, the reservoir, means the basically the polymer over there, its diffusional path length, the concentration of drug in the core, and the diffusion coefficient. So these are the few takeaways from the particular discussion. So now let us discuss the types of basically the reservoir types. You can see over here we can classify them as multi-particulate or single unit. So when we consider of multi-particulate, we can formulate the system in as beads, as pellets, or as mini tablets. So they will not be a single unit dosage form, rather they will be the multi-particulate system. And we can also formulate the reservoir type as a single unit dosage form, whether it should be a tablet or it can be a capsule. Now we can use the concept of tailored drug release over here while using the multi-particulate formulation strategy. Means we can just coat certain beads as immediate release, or we can prepare the other type of beads as extended release and pack them in the capsule to get the delivery in such a fashion. Means certain amount of drug will be released immediately and certain amount of drug will be released in a time controlled fashion. So you can see the note or the takeaway from this discussion is that tailored drug release can be obtained readily by combining particulate of different release rate. So what we have done over here, we can just coat simply certain amount of beads or pellets as means with lesser thickness, so that the drug will be released fastly, or we can just increase the polymeric coating to the pellets or beads to a larger extent, so that the delayed release or extended release can be influenced. So one example is that Metadate CD is a perfect example of this tailored drug release, and it encompasses the drug methylphenidate, and it is a CNS stimulant basically. So you can see the strategy adopted over here is that 30% is released as the immediate release drug over here, and 70% is coated in such a fashion that it will be released as a extended release dosage form. So coming towards the polymers that we are using to design these systems, the reservoir types are, means the polymeric membrane can be of ethyl cellulose, and these are some commercial name to ethyl cellulose, sure release, aquacoat, as well as there are some acrylic polymers like Udragid, RL30D, RS30D, Ne30D. So based on our requirement we can choose the any sort of polymer, and water soluble polymers such as HPMC and polyethylene glycols can also be employed as pore formers. So now, as we have discussed up till now the reservoir types, now let us discuss what are matrix types. So the therapeutic agent means the drug is dispersed in a polymeric matrix, and the drug release is controlled by its diffusion from this matrix into the biological fluids. So now let us see how the system works with the help of a beautiful diagram. So you can see what we have seen over here. No extra layer of polymer is there surrounding the core, but eventually what we have done, we have admixed the drug with the polymer. Now what happens when it comes into the contact with the GI fluids, slowly the amount of drug present in the core is releasing out, and you can see as the time is passing, the drug inside the core is getting depleted, and slowly the amount of drug is releasing out is increasing. So the rate controlling step in this particular phenomena is diffusion of dissolved drug in matrix. So what are the advantages? It is the most commonly used oral control release technology. This is the first and very much important advantage. And the why this is the most conveniently used oral CR technology, because we can prepare the matrix type formulation without requirement of some sophisticated instrument or high investment. So conventional processing and equipment are sufficient to formulate the matrix type system, and development time and cost associated with matrix system generally are viewed as favorable. That is why they are the most commonly used CR technology. And we can also accommodate the drug with both low and high dosage requirement. That is the unique property of this control release technology. Limitations are as well there. So what are the limitations? Let us see. We lack the flexibility in adjusting to constantly changing dosage level, because today's case demand of personalized medicine, and the physician on the suitability of the requirement by the patient sees how much dose is required for a particular patient, or we can just simply say in the case of hepatic or renal failure, we need to adjust the dosage level. So this is the problem with this type of system, we cannot adjust the dosage level. So I have also focused some kinetic consideration of both the reservoir and the matrix type system. So you can see over here, the drug dissolution into the surrounding medium is the first step in drug release. The control release process also contain a pseudo steady state sometimes, and the interfacial partitioning of drug molecule from polymers towards the solution depend on the solubility in solution and in polymer. So basically we should not only be considering the solubility of drug in the aqueous environment only, but we are also very much be sure about the solubility of drug in the polymeric matrix or the core, that is the important aspect as well. And the diffusion coefficient of a drug molecule basically in the environment. So these are the kinetic consideration one needs to undergo. Now let us discuss what are the various advantages and disadvantages of matrix and reservoir type systems. So both of these systems have some unique advantages as well as there are some limitations as well. So we can just simply summarize the advantages and disadvantages. So it is very easy to fabricate, as I already mentioned, the matrix type in wide range of sizes and shapes, whereas in the case of reservoir type we can easily achieve the zero order release, that is the more means required kinetic release we are desiring of, and matrix type are suitable for both non-degradable and degradable systems, whereas reservoir systems are easy to fabricate with wide range of size and shapes. Another problem which exists in case of novel drug delivery system or controlled drug delivery system is the case of what we can say the dose dumping. So the case of dose dumping is least in matrix type system, whereas in the case of reservoir system it is to the highest extent. Drug inactivation by contact with polymeric matrix can be avoided in the case of reservoir, whereas the zero order release is difficult to achieve in matrix. As I already mentioned, it is easily achievable in case of zero order release. Now, not all drugs can be blended with a we can say the given polymeric matrix. Degradable reservoir system may be difficult to design in the case of reservoir system, and the water soluble drug has a tendency to show the burst release basically. So these are some advantages and disadvantages. So I thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed the particular discussion, and you by now you must be understanding how to formulate the reservoir or the matrix type of system.